Hello, my loves. Hopefully the fan is not too loud. It is still really stinking hot. Although the temperatures are coming down finally, which is great. So the windows are now open, although I had to shut them a bit because of the noise of the traffic outside, unfortunately. Let's get started. And I'm using my Citadel deck here. What do you want to tell us in this reading, Spirit? So we have the poet, which is about relationships and vulnerability, which makes a lot of sense considering the poet is somebody who expresses themselves, who is able to take what's in their heart and put it into words, into the world. We have the sleeper here. And what I'm getting from this is a need to go within. But we have been going within. We have been looking within ourselves, the way that we are connected with the universe. I'm seeing these are clouds here, but this, because it's black, it is making me think of the universe. And we see these copper highlights on the clouds and how our eye is also copper. We are seeing the connection between things, between us and the universe, us within community. And I think we're about to wake up here. I think we're about to wake up here to become this champion here. The eye is open. Yes, the eye is open here, up in the little pommel. Okay, I want some more clarification because nothing else is coming to me at the moment. My cards seem to want to fall over all over the place. What would you like us to know about our being able to put this inner knowledge and this understanding of ourselves in order to be a proper champion into the world? And here we have temperance. This is the balance between going within, between being asleep and being awake and taking action, between imagining the worlds that we can create for ourselves and then putting that into the world. There has to be a balance. There has to be rest and action. It can't just be one all of the time. You know, our culture, our current culture, you know, especially here in North America, but everywhere in the world, honestly, is one of, hey, you got to do stuff all of the time. You must be constantly productive. But this is not about production. This is about seeing that flowery fantasy world lives within our hearts. And while yes, the sort of imaginings of that might be different from person to person, it's the beautiful future I think that all people generally kind of have until they may be corrupted. But here I'm seeing that this understanding of ourselves, understanding of our dreams, of the deepest desires that we have, and the ability to put it out into the world can mend this sword into the sword of truth. And that takes temperance. Like in blacksmithing, you need to temper steel. You need to temper the metals that you are working with. This is alchemy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't think this deck wants me to take another from it right now. Oh, that was my Llewellyn deck, by the way. For those interested. Obviously we're looking at heartbreak here. We have to remove these swords. We have to remove the swords. The way that we can become this champion here of the greater things that we imagine and that live in our hearts to come out, we cannot allow these things that have pierced us to remain. We must take them out in order for our hearts to be true, in order for our hearts to be tempered. Yes, we will be hurt in these lives, you know, in whichever way. Here it is the heart. This is a mind thing. This is something emotional. The past wrongs that have happened to us. But if we let these remain, our hearts cannot truly shine through the actions that we take in the world. We cannot be properly tempered if we allow the things that have happened in the past to keep on hurting us. These are swords. Both sides are sharp. Anytime you move, anytime your heart beats for something, you are getting sliced again and again. And it's time to let that go. Woo! Yep. If we keep allowing this to give us psychic damage, essentially, we cannot begin on this new path forward. We cannot get here because we are just overladen with all of the things in the past that have caused us harm. We have to understand that these things that have caused us harm, yes, there will be scar tissue, okay, but we must heal from it and leave this behind. We have to leave this behind so that this isn't such a burden upon us, so that we can move forward with joy and glee and hope for the future, for good things that are coming to us through this leap of faith. And perhaps in this leap of faith here, we drop these swords into the chasm. because the bees are going to make sure that we are fine, that we are able to get on to that new and wonderful path, that new and wonderful adventure that is meant for us. Yeah, we have to, I mean, the Princess of Swords is, you know, this young, sort of like innocent child. There's been so much returning to childhood imagery, and messages that have been coming through to us. And, you know, we keep on being reminded, because we need to be, because it's very hard to go back to that sense of wonder and delight and joy and fun and silliness in the world. Excuse me. But this is the kind of energy that we need to bring. We can have this sword here. We can bring this with us. But here it is our weapon. Here, you know, it is the sword of truth. Here it is the sword of communication. And being able to, you know, communicate with all that is around us, all these flowers, to make the world beautiful and wonderful about us, even if it is just ourselves who sees the beauty in the world. Oh, that was my B tarot deck. Oh, hello. Ace of Arrows. And we had this in the last reading as well. And here we go. More. We have a lot of air energy in here. You know, this is the equivalent of the swords in this deck. This is the Wildwood deck. But we have the ace here. This is the breath of life. This is the new ideas that are coming in. And we have to let this go. We have to be tempered so that these ideas can flow through us with ease and joy and wonder and amazement at the world that we live in. And to not only for us to just see the world as that, but to sort of inspire others to see that as well, and to make that, to take the action and be the champion of this sword of truth. And the truth is that the world is supposed to be a much better place than it is. You know, the world is supposed to be beautiful. The world is supposed to be our Mother Earth. She can provide us so much, and all of us can be living as, you know, royalty. We just got to make it happen. We have to let our sword, our arrow strike true. And again, we're going back to, so Two of Stones here in the Wildwood deck is the equivalent of the Two of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite. This is the inability to understand our priorities. Now, this card is a little bit different in this deck because it's talking about the hares who go and box with each other. I can't remember what else, but what I'm getting from this, you know, the meaning of this particular deck doesn't matter, because the message that is coming through is that this is again about temperance. This is again about understanding where we need to hold back and where we need to land those punches. This is a pretty interesting, it's giving me, it's a pretty interesting reading. It's giving me like the, I'm getting the imagery of fighters who fight with rapiers, which takes a lot of dexterity, right? But the fighter poets, you know, or even like Lugh from Irish mythology. Just this very incredibly balanced sort of inner world within us that allows us to affect the outer world in a way that is not, we protect when we need to protect others and ourselves, but we also do the greatest good that we can in the world when we are able to. And sometimes, yes, that does require the protection, that does require us to fight back, you know, even when it's fighting back against the things that have been done, you know, against us. Six of Pentacles here. This is being able, again, we have balance here, you know. We have so much balancing that needs to happen here. This is what comes when we understand the path that we need to be on, and the things that we need to leave behind, is this ability to be very well taken care of, but also be able to hand out when we can hand out, and where we see that somebody needs help. And by doing this, by having this, you know, that whole sort of pay it forward thing, but like that's what humans are. Without money, we would still be giving to our friends and family, or even people in the community we hear about who are, you know, suffering at the moment for whatever reason. We would be giving to them, and we would know, and we do still know, that the same thing, the same help, the same love would come back to us as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be that person we helped, you know, that gives us when we need it, gives to us when we need it. But it is that reciprocal relationship that just allows us to flourish within our communities. Oh, hello. Oh yeah. Oh yes. And through this, we are able to charge forward and claim victory through the balance of the Chariot here. Through the balance of all this, we are able to affect what we desire in the world. Claim that victory that we are seeking. And what we are seeking is this, again, this inner knowledge of our own selves, but then extend that out to the knowledge of the love and relationship we need to have with our friends and loved ones, and then that extends out into our, you know, our wider local community, where we don't necessarily know everybody, but because that ripples out, because that is because we are inspiring each other to just be better, to just understand that we don't have to live the way we are living right now. We can wake up and affect these changes that we want to affect. That's how we get victory, baby. All right, I think that's the message. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next one.